is Amanda, the founder and gemologist of eClarity, BA.SG and the sample line. For 3 generations and 20 years, we have been exploring love journey of Singaporeans where we create personalized jewelry for them. Not just jewelry that tell you specifications, but also jewelry that tell love story. We define love, we define wealth using the curation of jewelry. The biggest diamond that I have sold was 21 carat, but beyond the size, it was the story that it was a pair of parents and they bought for their daughter who is 16-year-old. That was the story that inspired me and inspire my team and inspire anyone that hear my story. So we're so excited that we are in the industry where we can help to empower love, empower commitment, and also empower generational heritage. So here I am, and I will be sharing with you a lot more about diamonds. So very interestingly, I actually find that the inquiries that we receive now when it comes to colored diamonds, it's actually the greenish blue and bluish green. So not blue, not green, but the right tone and saturation that sits in between. And for pink diamond as well, what is interesting is people do like orangey pink or pinkish orange. And in fact, maybe later we can do a close-up. The one that I'm wearing is actually an orangey pink diamond that's 2 carat cushion cut. So the colors that you see in diamonds, they are usually naturally formed. So when there is presence of boron, for example, diamonds turn blue. And when there is radiation that is near the Earth's surface, diamond turns green. And pink diamond is actually so awesome. It is because of additional pressure under the wall. So what is interesting to note here is if the pressure is excessive and overpowering, the pink then becomes brown. So that little window that creates the additional pressure such that it turns pink but it's not brown yet is so precious, and that makes pink diamond really rare and really desirable. And lastly, for black diamond, which is a very exotic color, black diamond is caused by aggregation and excessive clarity inclusions, and therefore diamonds turns black. So when it comes to grading, I shared a little bit about grading of colorless diamond just now. You know how diamonds are graded based on the 4 C's. So we have the color, the clarity, the cut, and the carat. So when it comes to colorless and colored diamonds, the other 3 C's are graded in the same way. So for example, the carat is still a weight measurement. 1 carat is equal to 0.2 grams. And then for clarity, it starts from flawless, VVS, VS, SI to I, based on how obvious the inclusions are under a 10 power microscope. So that is also graded in the same way, right? And thirdly, about cut grade is also the same, where it starts from ideal or excellent, depending on which report you're looking at, followed by very good, good, fair, and poor. So I always say that cut grade is like a BMI of a diamond. So it's how tall and how short and whether the diamond is cut proportionately. Whether it's colorless or colored diamonds, cut grade is also graded in the same way. Now the only difference is the color part. So colorless diamonds run on a scale from D to Z, as I shared just now, but colored diamonds has the terms like light, fancy light, fancy color, intense, vivid, and deep. So the deeper it is, the price will then be slightly higher. So it goes on the range from light, fancy, intense, vivid, and deep. So when it comes to pricing, we then first have to explain about colorless diamonds, right? So colorless diamonds are graded on a scale from D to Z. So DEF being the most valuable diamonds, and then it goes down GIJ, that's the second tier, and then you have your third tier and fourth tier. The moment it crosses Z, it becomes fancy yellow diamonds, and the price would increase at that point. And very similarly to brown diamonds as well. So it goes through the colorless chart, and then when it crosses close to Z, it becomes fancy brown. But of course, fancy yellow is a lot more desirable than fancy brown, right? Fancy yellow is a lot more precious and desirable than fancy brown. Now, when it comes to pink diamond, blue diamonds, black diamonds, and yellow diamonds, the moment you see a small tinge of pink, it is already considered a fancy pink diamond. The most valuable colored diamond is actually pink diamond. So, and red diamond, for example. So red diamond is known to be 8 times the price of a colorless diamond. I give an example. About 15 years ago, I think I sold a natural blue diamond, 0.5 carat. Before, the color is quite beautiful. It's not very intense, but it's beautifully observable blue. The price was 57,000 for a 0.5, and I remember the customer saying, Amanda, your price is so good. I was a young jeweler back then, and I was just so in awe, to see that people are willing to pay that sum of money for naturally colored diamond. Talking about the value of colored diamonds comparing to colorless diamonds, let me share a few statistics and maybe share something that I observed personally. So when I started the business 20 years ago, I was a young jeweler, and I went to Hong Kong Jewellery Show, and I saw a 2 carat black diamond. And because I was young, I was a fresh grad, and to dream, my dream was to own a 2 carat. And I saw a black diamond, and it was selling at $200 USD. And I thought it was a good buy. So I bought it for myself, and also bought it for eClarity. And about 5 years later or 10 years later, there was brands like, the auction houses, they started to sell black diamonds. And the prices that they were selling was 20,000, 30,000, and 40,000. I remember there was an auction piece that was selling at 40 over thousand earrings, and I looked at my $200 investment on that black diamond, and I was so happy that night to know that black diamond has gained its reputation and its reputation in this design, the world of design. So now this is one example to show how colored diamonds could increase in value over time because of that trend, because of the attention that designers or jewelry or jewelers together collectively put attention into a certain colors. Now, for pink diamond and blue diamonds over the past 20-30 years, statistically we do see the increment in price in about 100%. So it did get double. Whereas colored diamonds, colorless diamonds are also increasing. Recently, because of the introduction of lab-grown diamonds, colorless diamond has decreased in price a little bit. But if you look at it on a long-term scale, colorless diamond has also increased, but you don't see as significant as colored diamonds where we talk about 100%, 200%. Probably we could say a 35% increment over the past, say, 20-30 years. These are some of the statistics that I observed. Yeah. So talking about different culture and different preferences from different generations, now let me just bring in the topic of gemstone at this point, right? Because it's very often mixed up between gemstones, colored diamonds, and of course your colorless diamonds. Now, gemstones, we are talking, the big three of gemstones are ruby, emerald, and sapphire. So it's red, green, and blue, and colors are very intense. They are your prime colors. And then whereas we talk about diamonds, colored diamonds, they are less intense, but they are sparklier because the cut of diamonds are usually better just because they are harder on the morph scale. So diamonds on the morph scale, they run a hardness of 10, whereas gemstone, they run around between 7 to 8 to 9, depending on what gemstones we are talking about. Now, the harder the gemstones, the sparklier the diamond cut is, just because then the cut can be more intricate and also more precise, where the facets and facets line will be clearer and more transparent. Now, so because of that, people who choose colored diamonds usually choose because of the sparkles. They choose because of the meaning and the hardness. Remember that a diamond is forever because the hardness is the hardest substance on earth. Whereas when people choose gemstone, they choose the colors. Now, with regards to generations and culture, we do notice that our Indonesian customers love emeralds, and whereas our Hong Kong customers love ruby, right? And then sapphires are often welcomed by the Westerners, right? Because of your Kate Middleton and all. So it's all different trends and different preferences, and therefore the colors. And when it comes to colored diamonds, what I notice is for people who like the romantic meaning behind diamond, they will go for pink. And then blue is usually a bit more cooler and more independent women. Those are the choices. Yeah. So when it comes to generational, I noticed that back 20 years ago when I first started becoming a jeweler, people would just go for colorless diamond by default just because it's so unachievable. So I shared the price of blue diamond just now, which was one piece that I sold 57,000 for a 0.5. We also have transacted a pink diamond that's $2 million, which is, if I'm not wrong, 3 carat pink diamond natural. And looking at those price points, for engagement and for proposal, our dearest proposing guys, they would usually go for colorless diamonds. If not, then they go for gemstones if the girlfriend requests for colors. Now, what has changed recently is, of course, with the introduction of lab-grown diamond. Pink diamond or blue diamond that is 1 carat is just about 2,000 to 3,000, whereas 2 carat is probably about 7,000 to 9,000. So it becomes a lot more achievable, and so sometimes people these days, we choose a color to tell a story. We have the option to tell the story. We have the option to personalize our gift. So not only colors, they also go into different shapes now. Last time, the default is always round, and now we go into marquise, pear shape, oval, emerald, cushion, princess, radiant, usher cards. So we are now having the luxury to be more detailed and personalized when we choose the diamond that we want to buy. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching the clip and listening to my sharing. eClarity is located at Ngee Ann City, and we give very personalized consultation to each and every one of our customers. You just need to schedule an appointment, and our WhatsApp number is 98331220, and we will assign a time for you so that we can collate and curate whatever that suits you better. We hear your love story, and then together we will find the special piece with you.